Hello everybody, we are back with the Rams franchise. Another offseason is in the books and behind us. So today we'll be getting through training camp and the entire preseason. The first thing I would like to do is to talk about a few players that I thought had a strong showing in training camp. We'll begin with a quarterback who went undrafted out of East Carolina in Carl Williams. He's 6'5", 238, just 21 years old with hidden development and a big arm. He's got 99 throw power, so he's got a lot of things you just can't teach. And he has me excited to see what he could do out there in live game action in the preseason. Another player I would say has a lot of tools you just can't teach is wide receiver Jamal Holcomb. We did use a second-round pick on him in this last draft, and he is supposed to be a big part of our future at wide receiver, with Cooper Kupp and Mike Williams nearing the end of their contracts and the end of their careers. Those two guys don't have a lot to prove in the preseason, so they will not be playing, which means a lot more playing time for Jamal Holcomb and all of our other young pass catchers. Blake McCollum, we also used a second-round pick on him, and he immediately showcased his ability to get after the quarterback. And that is really not something I'm very concerned about with him. He's got great strength, good speed, acceleration, and good power moves. But his block shedding, play recognition, they could use a bit of work. And that is what we're going to be working on with a lot of his early upgrades he will be earning. Sammy Patton, the first thing I noticed about him was how fast he is. He is immediately able to get into the backfield on a lot of these drills here. And his speed is an 89 rating, and that is great. His zone coverage is also very good, and his play rec is also highly rated for where he's at in his career, being just a rookie who hasn't even played yet. But he's got to work on his block shedding, and he also has to work on his man coverage. So some things to work on for some of our younger players, but they did look pretty good in training camp. In the preseason, we are going to be sitting out Josh Rosen, Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams, Byron Young, Devin White, Addison Caver, Jason Taylor II, and Jordan Fuller. So a bunch of our veteran players will be sitting out, but that does mean a lot more playing time for some younger guys and some chances to make the roster due to having more playing time. Here is a look at our preseason schedule. We do open up play by taking on the New England Patriots and the number 1 overall pick from this last draft class in quarterback Ryan Carnegie. He'll flip it ahead to Juju Smith-Schuster, and it will not work out as Blake McCollum is going to make the play in the backfield to get his preseason started off the right way. Ben Portis is getting the nod for us at quarterback 1 here in the preseason, with Josh Rosen sitting it out. And the main thing I want to see out of Ben Portis here in the preseason is, can he make enough throws in time and in rhythm to give our wide receivers chances to make plays? He'll do that here by hitting Sky Moore on the left side, and he's got a first down out of bounds up at the 8. On first and goal, a blitz on the way, and Portis will get the pass off in time and hit Jamal Holcomb in the middle of the end zone for his first touchdown in the NFL. The reason Holcomb was so wide open was his speedy teammate, Anthony Allen. He set a good pick route and allowed Holcomb to get the easy score. Ryan Carnegie and the Patriots looking for their first score of the preseason. It will not happen on this play, as Blake McCollum is going to make another play here early in the preseason, getting a half sack. Bobby Brown III getting the other half sack. Now a pass in traffic will be pulled in by Mike Gesicki. A good throw from the number 1 overall pick, Ryan Carnegie. From the 21, Carnegie is going to buy some time and throw on the move, hitting Laviska Shenault, who will get by Hill on his way into the end zone for the first touchdown pass of Ryan Carnegie's career. It is just a preseason touchdown, but still his first of his career. Late in the first quarter, we're still tied at 7. Carnegie under pressure, can't get a throw off in time. He'll be sacked by Blake McCollum, who is having himself a great first preseason game. 3rd and 21 to begin the second quarter. Mac Jones drifting in his own end zone, and he's going to be sacked by Blake McCollum, who is now up to 2.5 sacks here in just this first half of the first preseason game. And he now has forced a safety. So it's safe to say that Blake McCollum is making a name for himself early in the preseason. O.J. Howard will make a tough catch here in traffic A pretty good throw there from Ben Portis to hit him from the 16. It's a pass to the end zone for Jamal Holcomb, who will make the catch at the goal line, and it will be ruled a touchdown. The second of the day for Jamal Holcomb. He was looking pretty good here in the preseason. At least so far, we're pretty early in it. Mac Jones is going to go deep down the field for Carl Hess, who got behind Nolan Walker, and that will be an easy touchdown. Nolan Walker, I am very hopeful that he can be our number 2 cornerback, but if he's giving up plays like that, yeah, I'm not going to have too much confidence in him. Here is a sack for Benji Shepard and Ronnie Perkins, who will team up to end that drive. Getting late in the first half, we now have Carl Williams in the game at quarterback for us, and he's going to fire a dart over the middle, hitting Sky Moore, who will put on some moves after making the catch, and he's going to go down with a gain of 24. 3rd and 4 from the 31. Williams running out of time, and he doesn't even get the throw off. He'll end up taking a sack, and we would have to kick a field goal after that. In the third quarter, the Patriots already across midfield, but not for long. It'll be a sack from Brian Asamoah II, who is going to be one of our backup off-ball linebackers. It'll be him and Sammy Patton. Midway through the third quarter, Mac Jones will be sacked again by a blitzer, this time in Jonathan Abram, who is fighting for a roster spot. He is trying to make this team as one of our backup safeties. 3rd and 9 from the LA 13. Jones getting chased by Benji Shepard, and he's going to be sacked by him and Ronnie Perkins again. Those two have teamed up a few times now for some sacks. In the fourth quarter, Bernard Bell at quarterback for the Rams. He'll fire to his right, and he's going to get that one to Ben Gonzalez, who has been in our practice squad the last 2 years. From the 25, Bell facing pressure as a man open downfield in Keenan Russell, and he's going to score a touchdown, and we are going to go on to win this preseason game. Now, there would end up being a few more points scored, but it wouldn't really be worth showing. We still end up winning this preseason game, and the final score is 29-24. Unfortunately, Anthony Allen, his preseason is already over. He's got a broken finger, and he will not play the remainder of the preseason. In preseason game number 2, we are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, already down 7-0. But Antonio Gibson, he'll get a great block from Sky Moore. It'll spring him loose, and eventually Gibson is going to be caught going down at the Jacksonville 22. 1st and goal from the 10 after the nice run. Portis under pressure. He'll fire it in there to Jamal Holcomb, who will make the spinning grab inside the 5, and he'll go down at the 2. Goal to go at the 2. Gibson, who had the nice run to start this drive, will end up finishing it off as he's going to be knocked down across the goal line for a touchdown. Now Gibson, he did end up missing the Super Bowl, and in his place, Montel Rodriguez looked really good in that one. So Gibson is trying to prove that he should be our top running back still. Here is Ben Portis coughing up the ball. He took a shot and ends up fumbling the ball away. You don't like seeing that. We would end up giving up a touchdown and are now down 14-7. Portis will end up connecting with Sky Moore on the left side. And that'll make Ben Portis 5 of 6 for only 41 yards though. 3rd down. Portis under pressure, and he's going to take a sack. He had no chance on that one. There was just nobody open, and the offensive line did not hold up for long enough. Lawrence under pressure will throw to his right, and he throws it right to Nolan Walker, who will pick it off. And Nolan Walker dropped that interception. I would have lost even more confidence in him, so it's a good thing he made that play. Not a whole lot would go right for us after that. We are now down 28-7. Getting late in the first half, why not try a deep ball here for Jamal Holcomb? He gets his hands on it, but he couldn't make the catch, so we do head into halftime down big. The kickoff here to get the third quarter underway will be brought out by Terrence Gatewood, a 21-year-old rookie out of Fresno State who went undrafted. He is going to end up finding a lane and taking it all the way back for a touchdown. Now he's kind of buried on our depth chart. He's behind a lot of other wide receivers like Puka Nacua, who are trying to make this team. So it will be pretty tough for him to make the roster. But if you can return both kicks and punts, that's definitely a good way to make it on the roster. He shows off his ability on a punt return now, going down just shy of the 40 at the 39. Carl Williams is in at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Tremaine Barden, who will cut back to his right and juke out a defender and get loose. And he is gone. He's going to go all the way into the end zone with a long touchdown. He will be our number 3 running back behind Gibson and Rodriguez. But you don't know how many carries you'll end up getting out of your third running back, at least to begin the year, third running back. A deep ball on the left side from Carl Williams, intended for Jamal Holcomb, is over. Holcomb said an incomplete. A strong arm there from Carl Williams was shown off, though. Reinhardt, the backup quarterback for the Jaguars, is going to move to his left and take a sack, getting brought down by Ronnie Perkins. 21-35. We are down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. And there goes Tremaine Barden again. He'll juke past the defender and avoid a diving defender, leaping his way into the end zone with another long touchdown. He had a great preseason as a rookie, and he is having another good one here in his second season in the NFL. Reinhardt on a quarterback draw is going to fight off a defender, but not the second. He'll take a shot from Ryan Asamoah the second, and it is going to result in a fumble that we are able to recover. A chance to tie the game up. Williams will be hit as he would go, and the ball fall to the ground incomplete. We would end up making a field goal, making it 31-35. So still a 1-score game. A pass on the right side from Reinhardt will be intercepted by Jonathan Abram. So not only can Abram deliver big hits and get after the quarterback by blitzing, he can also pick the ball off. Bernard Bell in at quarterback, trying to help lead this team to victory. He'll keep it on a read option and rumble his way for a 12 and a first down. Goal to go with the 8. It's a fake to Barden. Bell taking a chance to the end zone for Vernon Hitchens, and it will not get there. The ball will be deflected away. Now second and goal. Bell is going to check it down to Barden, who will make the catch and go down inside the 5 at the 3 to bring up third down. Third and goal. Bell swinging it out right side to Holcomb, who will make the catch. He was lined up at running back, but the throw is behind him, so he had to make a late adjustment to make the catch, and he goes down in the backfield. Fourth and goal, they put it in the hands of Tremaine Barden, and he will not pay it off. He had the 2 long touchdown runs earlier, but cannot punch it in from short yardage, so we end up turning it over on downs. One last chance for the LA offense. Bernard Bell to his left, fits it in there to Gatewood, and he's going to go out of bounds, saving that last timeout for the Rams as he's out of bounds across midfield at the 49 of Jacksonville. Only a 3-man rush. Bell scanning, lobbing deep down the middle of the field. He's going to hit Vernon Hitchens, and Hitchens will score. And just like that, we have a 1-point game with under 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The question is, will the Rams just kick the field goal and go for the tie? No, they won't. They will go for the win. They will send a man in motion. It's a flip to Holcomb, and he will not make his way into the end zone. The Rams will be denied the 2-point conversion, and that is going to end the game. So despite us scoring 30 points in the second half of this preseason game, we do fall short. We end up losing to Jacksonville 38-37. Lonnie Culliver, he has been listed as our training camp standout, so he does receive a +5 boost to his play recognition, and I'm expecting big things from him. We do have some very solid backup middle linebackers that will be pushing Lonnie Culliver and Devin White to be at their best. Getting into the third and final preseason game, we are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and our defense will get things started off the right way. Tim Settle Jr. in there to make a sack. 3rd and 19 for Kenny Pickett. He'll fire to his left, and George Pickens can't make the catch. Kelvin Joseph, who was not even on Pickens, was able to break it up. And Portis, his last chance to make something happen. He's going to hand it off to Antonio Gibson, who will slip past a few Pittsburgh defenders and go down at the 44. Nice to see him breaking off a long run like that, like he did in the game before this against the Jaguars. Portis to his left, and he's going to be picked off by Micah Fitzpatrick, who will avoid a couple of diving Rams, and it's going to be a pick 6. Not really a bad throw or even a bad decision. That was really just an amazing play by Micah Fitzpatrick to pick that one off and then take it back. The Steelers on offense. Up near midfield, a pass on the right side will be pulled in by Deontay Johnson, who's going to avoid Patton Hill and Walker and take it in for a 52-yard touchdown. He makes a fool of our entire secondary. And again, we are down multiple scores in the first half. Here's a fake to Rodriguez. Portis He's got a man open. It is Sky Moore making the catch. He's going to put on some moves and score a touchdown, a long one of his own. And we have made it a one-score game. I think it's safe to say that Sky Moore has earned himself a roster spot. He's been good in the pass game and also been a good run blocker. The Steelers in the red zone, but not anymore, as Brian Asamoah is going to get another takeaway. And he has had himself a heck of a preseason. He's forced a fumble, picked up a pass, even gotten a sack. So he's really done it all here in the preseason. Montel Rodriguez, he's been kind of bottled up in the preseason, but he does break off a nice run here and get us up near the 40. Under 40 seconds to go in the half. Portis under pressure from TJ Watt. He's going to deliver a strike to OJ Howard down the field, and Howard goes out of bounds inside the 40 of Pittsburgh. Now under 10 seconds to go, we're inside the 10, a pass in the end zone. In traffic will be pulled in by Terrence Gatewood. And just like that, we have tied things up at 17. Still tied at 17 in the third quarter. Carl Williams in at quarterback. He's going to lob deep down the field for Gatewood, and he's going to drop it into him. Another touchdown for Gatewood. This time, it came from a lot further out, and he's going to make it very tough when it comes to trying to make decisions on who to keep on this roster at receiver. 3rd and 10, the Steelers trying to answer back, and they will. Jeremiah Dobson is going to get burned for a long touchdown. A tough matchup for him. He was going up against George Pickens, the highest overall wide receiver the Steelers got, and he gets burned for a long touchdown. The Steelers trying to take the lead in the fourth quarter. A pass to the end zone will be caught by an ex-Ram in Tutu Atwell. They have a lot of former Rams on this Pittsburgh roster, and now they are in front 31-27 in the fourth quarter. Bell extending the play, throwing on the move. He's going to hit Tremaine Barden, who will go down at the 1, a yard short of the end zone. 3rd and goal. The Rams go under center. It is a handoff to Barden, who cuts back to his right, and he's going to be stopped shy of the end zone at the 1, bringing up a big 4th down. The Rams will go for it. Who are they going to look to? They will throw it. Bell fires to the end zone. It's behind Gatewood and incomplete. At the throw been on target. That's probably another touchdown for Gatewood. Instead, it's a turnover on downs. So the Rams down to likely one of their last chances here. Bell extends the play as a man open downfield. It is Gatewood, and he's going to go down at the Pittsburgh 21, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Now under a minute to go. 3rd down. Bell facing quick pressure, and he doesn't get the throw off in time. He's going to be sacked back at the 28 to bring up 4th and long. So the ball game is on the line here. Who will Bernard Bell look to? He wants Gatewood, and the throw is offline, incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Steelers will win this one. So we end up going just 1-2 in the preseason. Pretty disappointing, but we had a chance to go 3-0 if things would have fallen our way. They just didn't. Here is a look at the stats we put up in the preseason. It was a mixed bag from our quarterback room. The starting offensive line, they played well, but the backups, not so much, so we will likely be looking for some outside help when it comes to backup offensive linemen. The tight end room and running back room, they're set in stone, but the receiver room, that is a position group that we have some tough decisions to make on who to keep and who to let go of. On defense, we're pretty set at edge rusher, middle linebacker, and safety, because Jonathan Abram, he has made the team as that 4th safety. I thought he did enough in the preseason. But the 2 position groups on defense we don't really know yet: cornerback and interior defensive line. Luckily for us, the decision on who to keep when it comes to interior defensive linemen was made for us. Javon Kinlaw, he's got a torn pectoral, so his season is over before it even began. We just place him on IR. That does mean we have one less cut to make, which I guess is a good thing, but we still have a lot of big decisions to make, so let's start making them. Puka Nacua, he has been with us since the beginning of this franchise, and he does have arguably the best play from this series, catching a Hail Mary to get us into the postseason. He helped us make the playoffs in year number 1, caught a Hail Mary on the last play of regulation of the game against the 49ers, but he just hasn't developed, and he's kind of buried on the depth chart with only 1 year left on his contract, on his rookie deal. So we'll send him to the Philadelphia Eagles, who right now are without A.J. Brown, who's out with a partially torn ACL, and we get back a 7th round pick in the 2028 draft. So not much for him, but we do send him to a spot where he can play as a number 3 wide receiver. Antonio Mafi, he is another player that has been with us since the beginning of the franchise. And he was a starter for us in year number 1. And I thought he was pretty solid, but he just ended up not really developing the way I wanted him to. And he just became more of a backup. And then didn't have a good year last year. So we ended up trading him away to the Dallas Cowboys for a 7th round pick in the 2028 draft. And Antonio Mafi, he'll be their backup center. We are going to sign Walker Little, a big tackle who is now in year number 6 out of Stanford. His ratings are pretty solid, and he's been pretty good for the Jaguars over the last couple of years. When he did give up 5 sacks, it was because he played a lot. He was their starting right tackle. For us, he'll be a backup tackle. We have also signed Stephon Gilmore. The 35-year-old cornerback is now in his year 15 season. And I don't expect him to be a starter, but he could be a rotational guy that we put out there, especially when the opposing offense is inside the red zone. I think that is where Gilmore will be at his best. Here is a look at the players we did end up releasing. The biggest surprise to me, if I was an outsider looking in, would be Bernard Bell getting released. He definitely outplayed Carl Williams in the preseason, but Williams, I just didn't want to risk putting him on the practice squad. He's got 99 throw power, is only 21, with hidden development. He could potentially develop into a franchise guy at quarterback. So I was not going to put him on the practice squad. Bernard Bell, if he could go on the practice squad, I would have put him on there, but he's now in year number 3 and he can no longer go on the practice squad, at least in Madden. In real life he could, but not here in Madden. Terrence Gatewood, he makes it to the roster as well. So we will have 7 wide receivers on the roster, and Gatewood, he will be the 7th on the depth chart for now. But he will be our kick returner and our punt returner. I thought he did extremely well at both of those things in the preseason. So make it 2 undrafted rookies on this roster to begin the year. And I think we have a very strong roster heading into the regular season. We don't really have a ton of holes. Cornerback could be one of them. We did bring in Gilmore, though, who should have maybe helped out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if our cornerback room is kind of bad outside of Caver. So we may look at getting some outside help if things are not going well at that position. This is a look at our schedule for the season. We do open up against the rival 49ers, and we have a lot of primetime games early, but then not so much late. A lot of these more mid-afternoon games we do play on the West Coast in LA, so that makes sense. The most anticipated game for me this year, it's got to be the Chiefs game. We end the regular season by taking them on. We nearly played them in the Super Bowl last year, but they ended up losing to the Ravens, so I can't wait to play them. Obviously, it's a long way away. We have a lot of things to do between now and then, a whole regular season. So we'll open up against the 49ers in our next episode. Thanks for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one.